Hello, Lincoln Middle School. This is Mr. Cooper.
This is Miss Lucio, and we miss you guys very much. This is a hard job to do without seeing kids every day.
True story. We have a presentation for you. I'm going to share my screen. After every break this year, our December break and our Thanksgiving break, we've always come back to a whole school assembly. So here we are post spring break, as it were, and we're doing our welcome back assembly, but it's also the launch into online learning that will begin tomorrow on April 6th. Your teachers have created Google Classrooms, and that is the main learning platform that we're using to post learning opportunities for students. I think most students have already joined their teachers' Google Classrooms. You can see a bunch of them there. There are many, many more on my screen that have been created. And if you have any questions about joining a room, need any help, reach out to your teacher directly and send them an email. Hopefully you've already connected with your teacher online over the past couple weeks.
And parents, we don't want you joining classrooms as students because there's some legality issues around that. And so if you would like information from the teacher, we ask that you directly email them and ask how you should be getting the information for your students.
As we're doing online learning, exploring this, it's important that every student has their study space at home where you minimize distractions as much as possible, where when you're sitting down, you know you're entering into that learning zone. Here's our Lincoln Middle School online learning schedule. This is a really important component of what we'll be doing over the upcoming weeks. The district has protected morning time technology for technology to be used for elementary school, and that afternoon technology for high school, and from 10:30 to 12:30 each day, a focus on middle school. So if we look at Monday at 10:30, all students will be Zooming live with their first period teacher. Now, this is a chance to check in with your teacher and your classmates, ask questions about the learning opportunities presented in Google Classroom. It's not going to represent so much just direct instruction, although your teachers, I'm sure, will be giving you points and tips and clarifying the learning opportunities. Continuing on Monday at noon, you will Zoom live with your second period teacher. Similarly, Tuesday is periods 3 and periods 4. And on Wednesday is a little bit different. You're going to have an advisory period with your first period teacher at 10:30. And this is a time when we check in. There's actually going to be a student survey to give feedback to the school, to give feedback to the district as we figure out how it's going. What does learning look like? Do our students still feel seen and connected to adults? So that's a really important time, that Wednesday advisory period. Wednesday also has office hours, another time when you know you can connect with each of your teachers. But I want to emphasize that you should be emailing, connecting with your teachers as much as needed, and that you care to. Teachers will be very responsive with emails and can find other times to connect with you. And Thursday is periods 5 and 6.
This information for the office hours has changed a little bit since you might have been notified by your teachers, but it was changed this morning. So please take note of the times for the office hours and the advisory class.
And did you want to say anything about work time, Ms. Lucio?
I think that it's important for you to understand that the Zoom time is really a time for you to connect with your teacher, but there's going to be work expectations outside of that Zoom time. And that is to happen between your classes, between those Zoom meetings on Wednesdays and on Fridays between 10:30 and 12:30. All right, so we have been talking about the 4 V's all year. And it's really been successful and everybody's been doing a great job this year, but now we're in a totally new environment and we have to have different expectations of you. So we're going to talk to you quickly about the 4 B's with online learning. So first, we want to talk about being responsible. It looks a little bit different because of the timing of everything and the digital platform. So we expect that you are attending your Zoom classes to check in with your teachers, that you always ask questions. And for some of you, that's really hard. And so you're going to need to put yourself out there a little bit and make sure that if you have questions, your teachers know what they are and they can do something to support you, because that is what their job is during this time. If you have needs outside of the class time or the work time, attend the office hours for additional support. That's a good time to hear other people's questions, things you might not have thought about. We want you to keep track of the opportunities available to you for learning. So you should be checking in on your Google Classrooms every day. We want you to complete as much work as you can. And if you aren't able to, for whatever reason, to get the work done, we need you to communicate that with your teachers so that we can figure out how to support you the best that we can.
Great. So keys to a strong community: be respectful. What I want everybody to respect that you're helping develop a new way of learning. This hasn't been done in California, Alameda, the United States. We're really doing something different with learning that could have a potential to carry over and change the way that teaching and learning looks to some degree. So you're actually participating in something incredibly meaningful right now. So keep that in mind. I also want you to be respectful that your teachers are doing something completely new and have put in a lot of effort to prepare your online learning opportunities. So when you're meeting with them, when you're doing this work, represent that it's something very intentional with a lot of thought behind it. Showing respect on Zoom. A lot of the online learning experience will connect with Zoom. And so one best practice to do is when you're joining a large group or joining a group, always mute your mic in the lower left-hand corner of your screen when you join the Zoom. Let me see if I can bring it up. No. Okay. I tried. But you'll see. There it is. Nope, still no.
Can I do it? No, yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So when you're sharing your screen, there's some things you can see and some things you can't see. But to mute your microphone, it's in the bottom left of the screen when you're in full screen mode, or when you are looking at your own video, you can scroll over it and you can mute yourself.
Nice, thank you. And then if you want to speak, you could physically raise your hand in the video, and then there's also under a way that you can raise hand.
So what you do is you go into the participants option at the bottom of the screen, and you can see, oh, you can't see. I've raised my hand. Mr. Cooper can see that I've raised my hand, and I can lower my hand. I can also mute myself in the same location.
Yep. And then there's a chat box. You can write questions and stuff there. And being respectful, you guys all know how to make friends laugh and do funny things and change, background and silly or inappropriate, silly, whatever. But remember that being respectful in this online space is as important as in the classroom. And just imagine your parents are standing behind you watching, which they probably are. So make sure you're respectful in the classroom.
You never know, Mr. Cooper or I could pop up in your Zoom meetings anytime as well. So we need to talk about being safe because we're moving to distance learning and it's all online. There's not new ways, but ways that we need to make sure that you guys are being safe. So first, and this has always been our rule, but if you see something you shouldn't see, we want you to exit the application right away and tell your teacher. Nothing is foolproof. Things can get hacked. Things can be unsafe. We want you to know how to respond appropriately when that happens. So exit the application, even if it's your Zoom class meeting, exit out right away, email your teacher and let them know that you saw something that made you feel uncomfortable. We also do not want you guys to engage with each other in a negative way through these platforms. It's easy to think that you think something is funny, but it can make someone else feel unsafe. So we want you to just be really thoughtful and think about how you're interacting with people online, which is uncomfortable sometimes and strange because it's all kind of new. But if you see something that's clearly unsafe, we want you to report it. We want you to tell your teacher or a trusted adult. And if you're not sure if something is making you feel uncomfortable at all, tell someone. This is the time to be an upstander. We're all learning new things about this process and we want to do our best to keep you safe. That's our #1 priority. We also want you to be thoughtful about what you read online. Not everything is true that's online. Anybody can post anything on the internet. So we want you to think about what you're reading. Is it true? How do you know it's true? And some of your teachers are going to be talking to you a little bit more about this. The other thing is we don't want you on screens all day. We want you to balance your time online and offline so that you are taking care of yourself. I have experienced some pretty serious headaches from being on computers all day. And so I completely understand, and all of us do not want you working 6 to 8, 10 hours a day on a computer. That's just too much.
Mm-hmm. All right, keys to a strong community: be an ally. I went back to a survey that was taken by our 8th graders in this past December, and for digital citizenship. And one of the questions that was asked there was, what impact does social media have on your life? And I appreciated that the majority, about 53%, said positive. And then I think I respected even more that 44% were not sure what impact social media has on our life. What does that look like when I'm interacting with my friends? What is this experience of being social online? So again, naming, and we're in this unprecedented experience of doing learning and connecting with others online. And so I want to hold that we're in this potential, we're in this place of potential and of opportunity. So we really have to be especially careful and considerate and kind in how we're interacting with others and how we're doing our learning. And I know Lincoln Middle School students will do that. And then a couple other things, voices from the class of 2020, from our 8th graders. I asked what, we wanted to know what are positive ways to use technology and social media to make our community stronger. And our 8th graders said to share what good people have done in the world. You can share kindness and good deeds, spread kindness and uplift others. Social media can be used to spread messages of kindness, spread kind and positive words instead of hurtful or negative ones. A kinder community is a stronger community. Promote kindness on social media. Keep in touch with friends and be kind to one another, and spread love and positivity. So again, just naming that there's a lot of opportunity, and we're potentially feeling more isolated than at other times in our home. So how we reach out and connect with each other is really important. So everybody, we appreciate you. We miss you. Hope this has been helpful. And
we also know that there may be a lot of questions that you have about this time at home, about the rest of the school year. Whatever questions you have, we encourage you to email us. Both Mr. Cooper and I are keeping track of all the questions that come up from families, from students, from parents, and we will answer you. It may take us some time because we don't have all the answers right now. We care very much about all of the kids learning and about your environment at home being the best it can be. And if there's something that we can do to help you, please let us know.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, take care. We will see you online. Be great, be beautiful, be strong, be kind. Bye-bye.
Bye.